How's it going, everybody? It's Warren. Welcome back to my channel, The Cosmic Wonder, and we have a lot of new MCU news today. Disney has announced a new event in which we may get some Disney Plus information. There's some pretty big casting calls for some upcoming Disney Plus shows, and filming has resumed for one of our most anticipated Disney Plus Marvel shows. So we have a lot to talk about today, so let's just jump right in. But first, of course, if you're new, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news, and this week's giveaway is a Loki Funko Pop. Just subscribe, like the video, leave a comment down below. So to start it off, let's talk about the Walt Disney Company announcing their fourth quarter 2020 full fiscal year earnings webcast. Now, we recently had one of these meetings a couple of months ago for the third quarter, in which the Disney CEO announced that they were soon going to be talking about their upcoming Disney Plus shows, and he said that they were going to talk about them in Disney's Investor Day. Well, unfortunately, they are no longer going to be doing an Investors Day. So the plan to get new information about the Disney Plus shows and Investors Day is gone. However, hopefully they bring some of that news and information that they were going to talk about for these Disney Plus shows to their fourth quarter earnings report. Now, as far as what to expect, there's a couple of pieces of information that we really want to know that we most likely will get. One is how well Mulan did on Disney Plus's Premier Access, their video on demand service. Now, of course, the reason that we want to know this number is because of Black Widow. How well Mulan did on Disney Plus's Premier Access will determine if they want to take Black Widow down the same route. Now, in the third quarter webcast is when they actually introduced Premier Access. So there's no doubt that they're going to talk about Mulan because it's the first and right now only thing they have on Premier Access. And if Mulan did well, they're definitely going to consider putting Black Widow on Premier Access as well. And Disney's CEO basically already said that. He said that Mulan is going to be a test, and if it goes well, they will consider doing other movies the same way on Premier Access. So hopefully we find out more information on whether or not Black Widow is leaning more towards video on demand, or it's still planning on releasing in theaters. Because unfortunately, it doesn't look like these big, huge movies are going to be going back to theaters pretty soon. Regal Cinemas shut down, and yesterday, DC did a major shift in their movies, postponing a few of them, and now Black Adam doesn't even have a release date. So it's not looking insanely good for movies releasing in theaters right now, at least anytime soon. So Disney Plus's Premier Access may be the way to go. And of course, the next thing that we hope to hear about is the upcoming Disney Plus shows, which of course would include Wandavision, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Loki series, the Hawkeye series, Ms. Marvel, She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and for the Star Wars fans, The Mandalorian, and possibly some Kenobi news. Now, unfortunately, I wouldn't expect a new trailer or anything like that, but more along the lines of some production updates and when they expect all of these shows to actually launch. Fortunately for us, these Disney Plus shows don't get delayed by theaters not being open. They get delayed by production being postponed. But it seems like Marvel Studios and Disney are running full speed again. So hopefully we might get some sort of a release schedule. And unfortunately, we don't have to wait that much longer for this quarter 4 earnings report, as it is scheduled for November 12th of 2020 at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time and 1:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we have some pretty crazy news about the Hawkeye series. We have 9 different new casting calls for the series. And we actually have the descriptions for the characters as well that's listed on the casting call, and this is coming from thedirect.com. And we'll just go through the different characters. The first casting call is for a 20s to 40s male or female Eastern European henchman. Speaks with an accent, strong, supporting / reoccurring character. And that character has the code name of Misha. The next character is going to be a child character with the second listing titled Bella. The description reads, female, white, 8 years old, precocious, daring, and confident with a sense of humor. The next casting call is for a character called Brady with the description of male, white, 9 years old, energetic, and sweet. The next character is Heather, and the description reads, female, white, Midwestern, 26 years old, smart and scrappy, does what she needs to in order to survive. The fifth casting is for a character called Rose, and her description is quite interesting, and it reads, female, 8 years old, deaf, indigenous, independent, athletic, and bright, small, supporting. Please note that the dialogue in the audition scene can be spoken in English or signed in American Sign Language if the actor knows that language. The next character is titled Richard and is a 40 to 50-year-old male, indigenous, American, a loving father and fierce protector. The seventh casting call is for a person named Mary, and the description is female, late 30s to early 40s, open ethnicity, highly professional and ambitious career woman, no nonsense, and a reoccurring character. The eighth casting call is pretty interesting as it's named Detective Sherman, who will have a reoccurring role in the series. The description is 40s, male, open ethnicity, New York City detective, reoccurring character. And the ninth one is called Alex, and it's described as a female or male, 30 to 50 years old, a sincere but funny oddball with an obsession for the fantasy/sci-fi genre. So, the Hawkeye Disney Plus series is right now casting for a bunch of different people. Now, based off of some of these descriptions, we can kind of guess on what some of these characters are going to be in the series, and some of them are pretty vague. Misha seems to be a member of the Tracksuit Mafia, which has been rumored for a very long time now to be appearing in the Hawkeye series. Heather, Bella, and Brady are all kind of similar. They're relative in age and in terms of race, indicating that they are probably part of the same family, one that might be close to Hawkeye in the series. And then there's Rose, who is going to be a deaf character in the series, which means that she'll probably have some sort of a connection to Echo. Echo is another deaf superhero who has been confirmed to be appearing in the series. And then there are some indigenous characters, which could be a connection to the Occupy Avengers. This is a group that Hawkeye formed with other Native American heroes such as Red Wolf and Nightshade. And with the indigenous character description, we could be seeing this group in the Hawkeye series. Now, unfortunately, Murphy's Multiverse.com today did state that the Hawkeye series production has been delayed, but the fortunate news is it's only been delayed a month. It was originally planned for October, but now it's set for November, so this most likely isn't due to COVID. It's most likely due to something else within the studio, which is good news. That means we really shouldn't see any further delays with the Hawkeye series, especially with everything else starting back up. And that leads us to our final piece of news, which is about the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier crew has now returned to Prague to finish their filming. And this comes from the Facebook page of Fandime Filmu, who says that they have spotted the stunt teams on the set. So Falcon and the Winter Soldier is back filming in Prague, but unfortunately we still aren't going to get this series until 2021. So a lot happening with Marvel Studios right now, which is a really, really good thing. COVID isn't slowing them down anymore, and hopefully we won't really get any more changes to Marvel's Phase 4 schedule. And again, that's the great thing with all of these Disney Plus shows. COVID really doesn't affect the release of them, it only affects the production. But right now everything is in production or starting production very soon. So lots of Marvel content coming very, very soon. So let me know how excited you are for this in the comments down below. And let me know which Disney Plus series you're excited for the most. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest MCU news. For live updates, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.